Hi, I'm Michael Mooledhar and I'm the director of Green Days by the River.
My name is Sudai Tafari and I play Shelly.
I am Che Rodriguez and I play the role of Paul Lamy, Shell's daddy, the old dying father.
For the Green Days team right now is a very exciting time because we're opening the Trinidad and Tobago Film Festival on September 19th. You know, it's going to be a big gala, 1,000 seats. We're very excited about it and it's the world premiere of the film. So for us, you know, it's like an honor, you know, so I'm just excited about that. And you know, if you want, you can get tickets for $200. But on the 27th, we have our premiere, which is our theatrical release of the film, because the film will be playing throughout Trinidad and Tobago from the 27th. All cinemas, Caribbean cinemas, Movie Tongue, Gemstone, and that premieres on the 27th also.
From where?
Pardon?
Where the premiere is?
Well, is that Movie Tongue? Yeah, that premieres at Movie Tongue. Taking on the challenge of adapting a book into a film is a big one, especially something as celebrated as Green Days by the River. You know, it's a huge challenge and you want to deliver it properly. So, you know, for us, we really have to pay careful attention to the time period, do the research, the development. It's not an easy process. And then in terms of just making a film in Trinidad and Tobago, is a very hard thing because you need a lot of support. And the resources not always there or lending itself. So you have to really knock on doors, go by people. You have to really get people on board as a team. So it's a very hard thing to do. But we started the project in 2014 November, and now we're in 2017, and we're now releasing the film. So you can imagine the amount of work that went in over the last couple of years.
But more than that, though, Michael, what happens too is that you have taken on the job of transposing a novel to film.
Yeah.
When you do that, you're transposing characters that are well loved, characters that people read about from since they were 11 and 12 in school, in secondary school, right?
Yeah.
And how do you ensure that those characters jump out of the screen and come alive in the same way the characters were able to jump out of the page and come alive in the mind of the audience?
That's very important. That's like the whole casting process. And you know, I very much need to see those actors, like the characters have to be in them already. So that definitely that helps. So when you look at Sudai or you as Palami, you know, y'all have to already bring, and obviously in Palami's case, not that, you know, he was sick and all that, but it's like I need an actor that could bring him to life. You know, which I think you did a great job. And it's also with Shell, because his character a little shy and, you know, he gonna go on a coming of age journey. I think with Sudai, what we exactly touched on was he was at that same period in life. Yeah. And I think that was interesting for him now. And he was going through some of those things like, you know, with girls and being interested in them and then becoming a man.
I was saying that exactly what was going on with Shell in the book. You know, can't make up his mind about which girl to like and all the girls are wrong and pretty face and all the hormones acting up. That's exactly what was going on with partner in real life, you know what I mean? So it really was, what was happening was that Michael really was just taking people and with the people that he took came those energies that were just natural. For instance, just when he asked me to do this role, I had been terribly ill in the hospital, right?
Yeah,
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
I was talking about, to the point where I could have died. And here it was, he asked me to come and do the role, and that's exactly what the role was, a man sick in his bed dying.
I remember sometimes we're not sure whether he was acting coughing or real coughing, because he would catch a coughing fit, but it would be really like, because he still was in recovery at the point in time, so you know, it was interesting.
It started off when I was in school. It had Drama Fest by the time this film was, coming of age. There was a play director that came to our school looking for students to do a small role for the Drama Fest, and I was just a little side person, you know, just on stage for like half a minute. Like, so I had a serious talk with Kelson Wilson, that's the guy's name, and he told me it would be a lot of work if I wanted to go ahead into the wider world of the media as well. And I was introduced to the Facebook page of Green Days by the River, and I commented under one of the pictures saying I can do this, and then after I sent him my information without my parents knowing well, this is gonna happen. So I was surprised after I got called in. I wasn't really sure how to act because it new. It's never happened before, and I got called back again and got lucky and got in the film.
We called them back several times because when we cast in, you don't necessarily just sign people up the first day. You want to kind of see them over a course and pair them with different people. So at some point in time, did you all ever cast together? I'm not sure.
No.
But I know we was casting, like he came in and cast with a lot of other people because we, even with Shay did, like I know Shay because we went to school together in, well, our degree. Even after his audition, which was amazing, we still made sure to see Palamis. Other people, because you wanna look across, see what's out there, and really, you know. But I might have an idea like, okay, Shay might be playing the role, but I'm still looking. And the same thing with Sudai. From the start, I know I'd like him, but we'd still continue the process because you never know what's out there. And then you wanna feel like comfortable, like you got the best person for the role possible. So we spent about 1 year casting for the movie.
Ooh.
Yeah,
1 year?
it's about a year we took the
Okay.
cast. Yeah, because we only got Rosalie
At the last moment.
like 3 weeks before we filmed. Yeah. This will be Green Days by the River will be my debut as a feature film director.
Wow.
So I've made several shorts and that kind of stuff, but this is the first big one. That's it. Or biggest.
This is my my sixth film. I mean, as an actor. I mean, I work as director and producers before, but I'm doing it purely from the point of view of an actor. I started back in the old days when they made BIM, which was a movie. At the time I was 15 or 16 years his age, and I played a bad little boy and who gets stabbed up and thing. I don't know if you remember that. Ralph Mirage was the star in that one.
Green Days by the River, you know, is the first time there's a Trinidadian director and producer, which is Christian James, opening the Trinidad and Tobago Film Festival.
Yeah.
I know of which I know is the first book that been adapted by a Trinidadian author. You know, is like for a feature length. It's like to me it's like a very pure project where it represents Trinidad and Tobago from even a space of like the historical times, 1952, and that story of like returning to a time when it was more pleasant and life was simpler, and you know, like, you know those days where if you just kiss a girl, you think about that for 2 weeks, you know what I mean? Think about that for 2 weeks. It's just a real different time now. And for me personally, I really wanted to introduce Trinidad to that. So I imagine somebody in Form 3 or Form 4 now watching the film who going to school and they seen a school dance and how different it would have been now, you know? Because, you know...
I mean, they're not twerking.
Yeah. And they were in suits. They're in suits at the school dance.
Properly
and
dressed.
the music that played, you know, is Peanut Vendor or something. You know, it's just like a totally different... And they don't know they come from that. That's the thing in Trinidad. They don't know where they come from. Right now, the culture, you know, looking to a lot of America, you know, but we don't understand. And to me, this is that anchor now, bringing back like, yo, this is where you come from, this is who you are.
When I was coming to the interview, I was thinking about a number of things we can talk about. And one thing that jumped out at me was the relationship that Shell and Palami had, father-son relationship. Much of which it may exist today, but we don't hear about it. We don't talk about it. We feel as if children in this country that they just grow up on their own. In this movie, what Michael did was that I know that he had emphasized in rehearsals, Che, we need to see the relationship between you and your son. We need to establish that connection, that Caribbean fatherhood, which is what I focused on in the character. So you find that our relationship was very, very close. I mean, we hug and we close together, which is, you don't really see much of that today. Fathers don't really, you know, be close to the sons and sort of express that kind of open love, which is what you used to see before.
You don't see that on TV representing us,
Yes.
you know, and that's what something we feature in the film. But it's interesting that you bring that up too, because I remember something simple like when you would cough, I wanted the actors to be very natural. So in my mind, I don't want to tell Sudai necessarily to pour some water and give it to him. I wanted that to be, I mean, yeah, we would block it, but I wanted it to be a natural thing, because naturally, if you're in a room without cameras and somebody coughing, you get them a cup of water.
Yes.
So, you know, it was that kind of, to show that caring. And a lot of that caring is not in dialogue, it's in actions, you know, setting that example. But that's a big theme for me. generally, and I'll tell you why. Because I just feel like growing up, it do have many examples that teach you who you're supposed to become. And I feel like I come from a good family, and I have my dad around, and I still find like the idea of becoming a man is still a hard one. Like understanding what a man is and how to present yourself and what is right from wrong. So imagine for people who don't have that in their life. Like if I could find it still, something complicated to deal with. And those are some of the themes in this film that we deal with.
If I was to get put out of my house, say that way, I could go by Che, and I could, have a bed to sleep in. And that is like, he becomes like my second father, basically. And the connection is set. And by the time we both met, because of the phone, teenagers these days are always on the phone, so it's like, keep scrolling through Facebook and things, and he was just, I get bashed for it. Well, I appreciate it.
This is off camera you're talking about, right?
Yeah. And I mean, I would like to have that connection. I would like to see it happening a lot in Trinidad too, because all the stupidness happening right now with all the crime and this and that. And like, people think they never really grew up in a good home. So like, fathers and mothers, is like, if you show your kids the right stuff, most of the killings would basically stop if you actually look at it.
And I'll emphasize that because I remember growing up, and even though people may not have been married, and it might not have been, like father, like husband, wife, children, people might have shack up and think, but fathers used to be there. Yeah. Fathers were there, mothers were there, grandmothers were there. And all your aunts and your uncles, and then of course the people in the street who are also by extension your aunts and your uncles. You don't dare walk down the road. I know it looks as if you're trying to go back in time, but that's all it was. You don't dare go down the road and do some stupidness, and you get in a cut ass down the road, and then you get in a cut ass when you reach home, and your parents would know about what you do before you even get there.
And that's the idea, it takes a village.
It takes a village. And that's what you really see in Green Days by the River. Everybody was like one big family at the time. Even Mr. Gedari became his father when I couldn't do it and I am flat in bed coughing and dying.
And your character to have an interesting journey to understand
and to allow that process
and
to
not
take
fight
place
it.
And not fight it.
The 19th in Napa Trinidad Film Festival, we'll be showing Green Days by the River, and on the 27th we'll be opening nationwide. I want everybody to come out, the whole of Oripun as well, and Trinidad nationwide, everybody to see the movie.
Well, I think if you're a Trinidadian, you need to somehow go to the cinema and see Green Days by the River. It's an important film for your culture and to celebrate your culture. So we opening the Trinidad and Tobago Film Festival, big gala, which is exciting. And for me, being a part of the film festival since I can remember doing my film degree, we go into the film festival and having movies in it. So it's really an honor. I'm excited about opening it. For me, it's like reaching like a space in my career that I'm excited about. And I just want everybody to come out and see the movie too, because we work real hard on it, and I think like people will be very, very surprised at the standard of filmmaking that we got to. And pleased, and enjoy it.
To all the fathers out there, bring your sons, bring your children, and come and see Green Days by the River. Come back to where we used to be. We used to take care of our kids and we cared about how they develop. Green Days by the River, showing you how to take care of your children.
I would say, when you're making a movie, you have an OMG moment every single day. Because, for people who don't understand filmmaking, doing everyday filming to me is like putting on a wedding. So if you're shooting 26 days, that's 26 wedding you're going for. That's the logistics that you're dealing with. So let me think about what is the biggest OMG moment I had. But it had plenty, It had one where I'll never forget this. Mr. Gedari, he had to come in with the 3 dogs, and they just rile up the dogs and get them excited. And the dogs pulling him, and they pull him forward in the bush, and my boy do a front flip, and the whole set was like, and he have a cutlass in his waist, right? And he do this front flip, and everybody's like, "You okay? You okay?" And as soon as he was like, "Yeah, I good," everybody started to laugh because it was like funny too. That the dogs actually, but that's how much when you watch the movie and you see the dogs pulling, and the dogs were really pulling. So that I can comment on that a little bit too, because he had to control the dogs a little bit too.
Well, my OMG moment was, I would say, the kissing scene, I believe, because it was kind of weird and awkward at the same time because I have to do it in front of people and on camera, and it will be on screen. So,
And many times.
yeah, there was a few takes. Yeah.
My OMG moment had to do with the house that Michael put me to live in. We were shooting a scene, and I remember while we were there, I am hearing chickens in the roof. And I'm thinking, all right, oh God, this is how it used to be. That there were actual chickens there, laying eggs, and it's very real. And that to me made me become the character even more, because then I was able to connect it.
Alright everybody, thank you for taking an hour interview on OMG. Just remember, 19th of September, Film Festival opening, tickets $200 at Napa Big Gala. And then on the 27th, we opening cinemas nationwide. Go out and see Green Days by the River. Check us on our Facebook page.
All right.
Alright, bye.